All right. Do I have your permission to post this for my YouTube channel?
Yes.
All right. So, being that, I have new watchers every day, I'm going to repeat my introduction. I know you already heard it, right? All right. So, I'm a psychic medium along with being a physical medium. I say physical medium because I sometimes I'm able to feel. I can feel if someone has a lot of salt in their body. Sometimes I can channel deaths. I can look at someone and tell, oh, her glucose levels are like are astronomically high. I can just feel it, right? During the session, I'm going to be staring at you. I already stared at you, but I still have to say it because they're going to listen to this. During this session, I'm going to be staring at you. It's going to be absolutely uncomfortable. But if I could make you feel a little bit less uncomfortable, I'm not really staring at you. I'm staring at the visions that sometimes take a very long time to morph around your face. Also, during this session, I'm going to be asking you a few questions. Please, please, please just answer the question. All right. I don't want, let's say I ask you, hey, um, are you in school? Yeah, I'm in school to be a little, I don't want to know that. Just yes or no, are you in school, right? And I think I said it. I think I said everything I needed to say. I feel like I'm missing some stuff. When you repeat this 5 times a day, you could mess up. But anyways, being that I already have notes for you, I want to transition into the messages that I have, right? So if I can compare your energy, or if I could put your energy into a sentence, or let's say I was reading this chapter of your book, right? It would be titled, in order for it would be called peeling back layers. Or if I could put it into a sentence, it would be, in order for me to be who I am, I have to release a lot of people. Okay. Let's say you want a six pack. In order for you to have a six pack, you gotta, lay off the Cheetos and you gotta work out every day. And I'm just putting my timer on. All right, because I don't want to go over. This will be for 30 minutes. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing 30 minutes is because last one I did for an hour, and I just want my clients to see the difference between an hour and 30 minutes. So for 30 minutes, I'm just going to be talking about what's in your current energy. For the hour, I talk about love, career, finances, and what's next for you. All right, so let's begin. So your sister is absolutely jealous of you. Please, please, please cut her off. You know what you have to do. All right, so they had me write, a jealous sister, watch out for her. It feels like your sister is very male centered. Now, let's say you're like, she likes girls. Well, she's woman centered, okay? She doesn't prioritize what a responsible adult should prioritize. So, for an example, it's energetically, because I could be wrong about everything that I'm about to say, right? But energetically, it feels like she is the type to make sure, like, her man is taken care of before her kid. Like, she would rather go to Bali with her man before taking her kid to Disney World. That's the energy that I receive from her. All right. So male centered. Okay. Now your sister, she's gonna ask you for something. It feels like she already relies on you, whether this is financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever. She is gonna ask you for something. You need to say no. You are entering a period, especially this year, where you're going to have to start setting boundaries. Okay. There's a lot of people that manipulate you, gaslight you, which is a form of manipulation, and they walk all over you. And it's no more of that. All right. You're going to feel bad for setting these boundaries, but oh well, the bullying has to stop. Okay. All right. So she's going to ask you for something, or she's going to continuously ask you for things, whether it's, hey, watch my kid, or hey, I'm about to go to Target. Can you send me, $20? No, 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 and no. All right. But yeah, so to continue with the notes that I wrote down, I'm not sure if she relies on you, but if she does, enough is enough. Okay. Also, there's a masculine in your energy. Are you in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay, I don't like messages like this. This masculine is not being honest with you. All right, he's not being honest with you. Do you feel comfortable saying his name so I can hear the energy behind his name?
Richie.
Oh, okay. See, here's the thing. This is going. I do have six people to read, right? I'm not gonna say everything. We'll talk about this later. Probably not today because I do have six people to do today.
It's fine.
But is it a possibility he or any of his friends will see this?
No,
Is Richie bisexual?
I don't, no, not that I know of.
Not that you know of. Okay. Any DL concerns? Anything? All right. Any down low, like I don't even know how to ask this. Have you ever questioned his sexuality?
No. I've
All
made
right.
jokes, but that's it.
You said in the gym.
No, I've made jokes, but that's really it.
Where did these jokes come from?
I no, we're really I just made them to like
Oh, okay, okay. I don't sense he's being honest with you. And they keep saying uno reverse, and they're pointing at a man than a woman. They're pointing at a man, they're not pointing at a woman. So I like next question. I'm not going to get into that. Does he resonate with drugs? Whether do drugs, sell drugs, or is he is there any association with the word drugs tied into his energy?
yeah.
All right. Whether he does drugs, sells drugs, Spirit is saying it is only going to get worse. So let's say he smokes weed. I see crack in him doing crack in his energy. Let's say he sells weed. I see him selling crack. It feels like he's going to be in a cycle. All right. If this is his first time being locked up, it won't be his last. This is not a healthy relationship. I do see another man, a man coming into your energy. It's not obviously it's not him, but it's time. It's time to release a lot of people. But being that I can only say but so much in 30 minutes, I'm gonna be like not skimming through, but skimming through your energy, just covering the important topics. Okay. But also I do want you to know I don't work in chronological order, but my messages will make sense at the end. Someone is doing drugs. Someone is doing hardcore drugs. I don't know if you're aware of this. It feels like it's a masculine. Every time I look at someone, they show me a vision of a rubber, like a string or a band tied around someone's arm and a needle. So this is heroin or dope. I think heroin and dope is the same thing. YouTube is probably going to flag me for this. All right. But that is popping up. All right. I know we're gonna get to the positive stuff. Just let me get out all these messages, okay? It feels like your boyfriend is in California, all right, or you are gonna have there's you're going. I know you're on the East Coast, right? But it feels like you're moving to the West Coast, all right? Because every time I look at you, they show me a vision of all year round. You're wearing shorts, dresses, and life feels like it's summer every day, all right? So you're going to have a connection pretty soon. It feels like towards the ending of this year, pertaining to California or a state on the West Coast. Okay. Also, you're moving. You're moving, okay? However, you're moving into your own apartment, all right? So let's say you live with someone or you have lived with someone, you'll be living by yourself, and it feels like eventually when you and your new boyfriend come into union, uh, obviously you two will be living with each other. Also, there's a fake friend in your energy. And I want you to understand, you may be like, oh God, another negative thing. Earlier, I said onion layers. You're pulling back a lot of layers of yourself, okay? So a lot of releasing. All right. In order to have a six pack, you got to get in the gym. And it's not an easy thing to be consistent in the gym. Trust me, I know. You have a fake friend in your energy. She is not your friend. She is not your friend. She is not your friend. You two are going to get into a heated exchange, or she's going to say something in a passive aggressive way or bitchy way. Let her go. Let her go. Let her go. Every time I tap into your energy, it feels like you're struggling, whether it's emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually. And I don't believe in struggling if you have support. So it's like you're better off struggling by yourself because these individuals aren't helping. All right. Like I don't believe in, like one time my friend asked me for money and I said, don't you have a boyfriend? Why are you asking me for money? You have a boyfriend. Like I don't believe in, I don't, I just don't believe in, listen, you got some cutting off to do. Okay. All right. Now, I do see two kids in your energy. Prior to us recording, I asked if you had a son. You said yes. Well, I see a girl in your energy, so you will have one of each. Okay, feels like you'll have two kids in this lifetime. Now, your mother, does she eat unhealthy?
Yeah.
Okay, does she sit on the couch all day, or does she sit on the couch all day?
Basically, yeah.
Your mother's hypertension is they're showing me a caution sign saying hypertension, and they're literally showing me a vision of her cholesterol going up and up and up. Has she had a stroke?
No.
All right, I want to be wrong with this. I hope and pray because I'm not God. I could be wrong about everything that I'm saying. And I hope I'm wrong with this. She is on the verge of a stroke or a heart attack. Her eating habits are just not so healthy. And she's eating a lot of salt. And I mean a lot of salt. And she's not, does she drink soda or juice? No, no. Does she drink soda?
Yeah.
Lots of soda?
Yeah.
That is a problem. That is a problem. Okay, she's eating a lot of salt. But I'm like, okay, if she's drinking like 12 bottles of water, 5 bottles of water, even though still it's like, but she's not even filtering out her kidneys. Also, was she mean to you?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you something. I'm going to get cursed out for the rest of my life as long as my mother is alive, right? But did your mother mistreat you? Was there bullying for a long period of time?
Yeah.
Her karma, how she made you feel, that is going back through her health. Unfortunately, let me not say unfortunately, but it's a karma thing. It's a karmic thing, excuse me. So let's say she made you cry a lot, well, she's going to be crying a lot in the hospital because she's going to be in pain. Let's say she made you feel less than. Let's say she made you feel like let's say she introduced you to body dysmorphia. Let's say she made you hate your body. Well, she's going to hate the fact that the doctors are going to have to cut off one of her legs because of diabetes. So it's like she's getting that energy back. Okay. And it feels like she's still in that energy, not a nice person. There is misdirected anger in her energy, lack of accountability. And I'm gonna say something, this might hurt your feelings, but I want you to know this goes back to her. All right. She views you as the weak link because you remind her of herself in a failing way. Let me break this down. Let's say you're Whitney Houston, right? You can sing. I can't sing. So seeing you on the stage getting Grammys, it makes me hate you because I've always wanted to be a singer, and being that you're my daughter and you're Whitney Houston, I hate you for, being famous and being a singer because that's something I always wanted to do. All right. So it's really projection. It's really projection. And I unfortunately see her staying in this energy up until her transition. I am going to say this though. I predict prior to her transition, she's going to apologize to you or she's going to have a different perspective. Now, I am going to say this. It's very unfortunate that it takes for someone to die or almost die for them to apologize or have a different perspective in life. But unfortunately, that's how sometimes things are, you know. Because death is final. It's like, let's say you and I are sisters, we don't speak for 20 years. It's like in the back of our head, subconsciously, we could say, I'm not effing with her right now, but I'll get to her when I feel like it. That's because we think we have forever. But let's say, God forbid, one of us passes away. That's going to be so hard for one of us to deal with because death is final. There's no such thing as making it right. But it feels like your mother is going to apologize to you, okay? And you're gonna break down. You need this apology, whether you may say, oh, F her or not. It feels like your inner child is going to accept this apology. And it feels like prior to your mother's transition, your relationship will get better. So there won't be any regrets prior to her passing away. You'll be able to. I don't want to say closure because there's no such thing as closure when it comes to losing a mom, whether the relationship was good or not. But you will have the I'm sorry that you were always looking for. Okay. All right. And she's going to tell you it was never you. It was really me, truly. Okay. All right. Now, can you count from 2025 to 2027? I need to hear something.
2025, 2026, 2027, 20.
Yes, 2026 to 2027, you'll be in your new apartment. Feels like you're going to be on the West Coast. So any state on the west side and a little bit, so any state, they're splitting the USA in half and you're going to be on the left side. So let me just draw something out because I assume that what I see people can see. So let me just draw something out, right?
All right.
So you can have more of a visual. Not saying you don't understand what I'm saying, but I like for my clients to sometimes see what I'm talking about. One moment. Let me draw this out. All right. So you're gonna be on my nails are not done, honey. Oh no, honey.
Mhm.
I don't like no. Okay. So you're gonna be on this side. This is it's probably backwards, but you're gonna be on this side,
All right.
right? This side. All right, so that's kind of like the South because they have it split, but the South of I'm feeling west, but hot climate. Okay, you will not be living in an area where it's cold, or if it's cold, it's maybe because like it's 60 degrees, it's windy, but I don't sense you're moving to an area where it snows, or if it snows, it's very rare. Anyways, I'm moving on to the next. Actually, not let's not move on right now. So, new apartment. They have me right California, Texas, Florida, or Virginia. Now that's contradicting because they have me split it in half, split the USA in half. But Florida is hot. Virginia and it's kind of but listen, California is my number one. Texas or Florida, somewhere warm. Okay, somewhere warm. All right. Now, I want to transition into the next couple of messages. Someone is doing drugs. Someone is doing drugs. All right. I don't see things going so well for them. Do I see somebody dying from an overdose? No, but somebody needs a serious rehab and they're not going to want it. All right. Now I want to transition into the next message. This is how you know you're moving. You're gonna color your hair, you're gonna dye your hair green. It's like a forest green. All right, or you're gonna cut your hair. Is your hair, I can't really tell because it looks like it's pulled back. Is your hair?
Yeah.
You're gonna cut it shorter than that. All right. So that's my two predictions. Green, and you're gonna cut it shorter. All right. That is your indication that you're moving. I had a client ask me many months ago, hey, when am I going to receive my lawsuit settlement? I said, when your daughter tooth falls out. All right. And I think about 2 weeks later, she sent me a picture of her daughter's tooth in her hand. I don't, listen, that is just a sign that she's gonna get the money soon. And for you, you're moving towards the west side or in a hot area. Because the state that you're in, please don't say it because it's none of their business. But the state that you're in, come on, it gets cold. You deal with snow.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, uh anyways, there are new beginnings in your life. Now I know you're like, that was the past few messages was negative. Think of it as let's say you're applying tretinoin on your skin. Your skin has to purge. So you're gonna see the red bumps. You're gonna see like the redness of the skin. And then when you keep applying this tretinoin, it eventually gets better. Your skin eventually gets clear. Okay. So that's what life is gonna feel like. But for right now, you're going through the purging process. It's like mixing light and dark liquor. You got to throw that up to feel better. There's no way around it, right? Now, September through October, you're going to be in a bountiful energy. Okay, I'm sensing from September to October there's going to be a new change. It feels like this is going to be these 2 months, it's going to be, everything's going to be new. It's like, let's say you're 700 pounds. Well, September and October, it feels like you're going to be 200 pounds, where you're not used to wearing a crop top, or you're not used to being able to move around a lot because you were 700 pounds, but it's new energy. Okay. All right. However, this new change is going to require you to leave something, leave your house, or leave someone alone. And the spirit said both. Now, earlier I asked you, is your lease ending? And you said yes. I'm going to say something. Whether you renew it or not, you're still moving. All right. Now, in order for you to be where you want to be, you have to isolate yourself. Okay. I am sensing that you are going to enter a period where you're going to realize a lot about a lot of people. Okay. And you're going to be cutting them off. They're not healthy for you. Now, let's talk about some of the predictions that I have for you. In April, I see a renewal in your energy. Then they said renewal or foreclosure, which is what made me ask you earlier. Hey, is your lease ending? You said yes. So they have me right. You might need to move. They said she might need to move. If she doesn't move, she will renew her lease and she will end up moving all over again. Well, again. Then May, they said she's going to contemplate on moving to the West. Then they gave me this song by Jesse McCartney. This is my song. It's called Leaving. All right. And in that song, he talks about he's leaving his relationship, he's never coming back, this woman doesn't treat him right. But when I think of not just the song, but the title of the song, "Leaving," you're leaving what no longer serves you. Okay, I see three relationships ending. One is romantic, the other two are platonic. Okay, and one is a family member. Okay, so these endings are not going to feel so good, but whatever. Listen, you are no longer operating as a product of your environment. Let's say you live in an area where there aren't much successful people that come out of your area, or aren't a lot of people that get their high school diploma. That's not going to be your story. You're going to be very fulfilled, successfully, financially, emotionally, and mentally, but you have to leave. Okay. Now you're going back to school, but I'll talk about that later. June, so you get into a lot of arguments with almost everybody. All right, you're masculine. He's going to ask you for money. All right, I don't sense that you'll have it, but he's going to feel like you're lying. There's going to be an argument behind that. Just do the best that you can do. Okay. Also, and this is very important. All of these messages are, but this is very important. You need to move like you're in a domestic violence relationship. A lot of women and men that are in a domestic violence relationship that have the luxury, that have the opportunity to leave, because not a lot of women and men can leave because they will be killed. Okay. They plan. They secretly plan. They don't tell anybody, not even their best friend that or sometimes, but they don't let the man or the woman know that they're going to leave them because you'll be killed. So Spirit is saying, you need to move, you need to plan something secretively. It's just you and your son. Don't tell your best friend, your sister. I don't care if God come down and say, you can trust her. Yeah, you can trust her, but do not tell her your business. You need to keep this to yourself. You're going to plan something. I don't know what this is, whether it's pertaining to a move or I don't know what this is. Get your documents ready and leave. You don't owe nobody nothing. Remember that. But in June, you're gonna have they keep allowing me to feel like I've had enough. I'm tired of everybody, and you're gonna start the planning. All right, because you're not at the tip of the iceberg yet. It hasn't happened, or the cherry on top, whatever. You're gonna plan a plan. Tell nobody. Let's say you're getting ready to go to Thailand. Tell nobody. Keep it to yourself. And it's not Thailand. It's something more of like urgency. Like it's like evacuation. So this is you leaving. All right. Keep it to yourself. Now, what's going to happen if you don't keep it to yourself? Because sometimes my clients don't listen. What's going to happen if you don't keep it to yourself? It's your plans are going to fall through. It's kind of like and I don't know, I forget what biblical story this was. I think when God told Lot and his wife don't look back, and Lot didn't look back, but his wife did, and she turned into a pillar of salt. Okay, or maybe that was like a metaphor. Maybe she didn't really turn into salt, but Spirit is pretty much saying, "Tell nobody." All right, and that what month was that? That was that did I was that? Oh, that was June. Let's talk about July. I see you going on a small vacation. All right. However, it feels like you're not going to want to go in the beginning, all right? Because maybe you're going to be so stressed out. Do you smoke?
No,
Okay. All right. Maybe you're good. Do you drink?
no,
Okay, that's beautiful. Any psychedelics?
no.
Okay. All right. So Any energy drinks?
No,
Coffee?
no.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say this. You're gonna want to do something from June through July because I see you being very stressed. All right. Now it's something with going back into an addictive personality trait. So let me tell you something. Um, Sometimes when I'm stressed, I sleep, and I can sleep like seriously. I mean, I can't now because I have a dog. He changed the better. If you get, blah, blah, blah. But I could sleep 20 hours. If you let me, oh, I could sleep 20 hours. So it's something where it's like, oh, pulling out your hair or, I don't know. You're going to be very, very stressed. Anyways, your anxiety is just going to be raised. But now, July, I see an opportunity being offered to you to go somewhere. It feels like for 2 days, maybe an adventure, like I don't know, something like that. You'll bring your son. All right, Spirit is saying, please go. You're not going to want to go, but please go. All right. And I see you meeting a new friend. And then this obviously this wasn't on camera, but I asked you, I said, do you know a Lindsay? Lindsay? And you said, yes, that's your sister. They had me write cut off Lindsay. And that is very concerning for me because they give me names every day that my client doesn't have any association with. I asked my client, do you know Bob? No. You know Deja? No. You know Marcus? No. They hit it on the nail with Lindsay. They said cut off Lindsay. That is very specific. Okay, you're gonna have to cut your sister off. She is not good for you. She is diabetes. She is cancer. She's parasitic. Now, August, someone has been lying to you or is going to lie to you, and you're going to figure it out in August because they're showing me a vision of you in high school and you're solving this math problem that's extremely hard, and then you get it, and then you're like, oh, now it all makes sense. Because whether you're learning about the integumentary system, the cardiovascular system, or two plus two, once you understand something, everything makes sense. You know, something is going to make sense, but not quite yet. All right. So those are the predictions that I have for you in the current energy that I have for you. You are going to go back to school. Let's say you have your associate's degree. I see you having your bachelor's. You're gonna go back to school. I don't know if you have a connect. Can I see your neck a little bit more? I feel like you have a connection. Do you have a connection to the medical field?
No.
Okay. So I'm seeing you in scrubs. So this doesn't have to be, this falls under health though. This could be a nurse, CNA, medical assistant, or esthetician, something like that in your energy. I see something like that. And you'll work in a hospital. All right. I see something like that in your energy. Your depression is going to get better. All right. I want you to understand something. Once again, you are a product of your environment. So if you are around energies that make you suicidal, it's not that you're suicidal. It's just that these energies are making you suicidal. It's like, a plant being given a soda. No, plants need water and sunlight. Okay. So you are not, let me not say you're not depressed because I am sensing depression in your energy. But I will say this, once you leave this environment, you're going to flourish. You're going to feel and look so much better. Okay. Things are getting better. Your boyfriend is on his way. However, it requires you to move. All right. Now, if this was for an hour, of course, I would tap into your person and, gigi ga, gi. I am going to say something. The masculine that's incarcerated spirit is they're speaking in my ear. Say that again. Expect disappointment. Either his case is getting pushed back. Here are a few of my predictions pertaining to him. His case is going to get pushed back. Someone's I don't know if someone's going to snitch. I don't know, rat him out, or there's additional time in his energy. Additional time in his energy, or he's going to get out and he's going to have to go back in, or not have to go back in. He's going to go back in because he's not learning his lesson. All right. And five, I think he might be gay. So I'm going to say something. Damn. You heard that?
Yeah.
You see the bank? I need to get out of here. Listen, listen, either way, this relationship is not going to work because you are entering a relationship with an amazing man. All right. I don't know if his name is Cody, but an amazing man, and it feels like you're gonna have a kid with him. All right. Now I'm not gonna tap into that to be exact, but this will be a healthy relationship. It feels like this next boyfriend, he works with his hands, so electrician or plumber or something like that. He's a handyman, and you're going to go back to school to be a nurse or something in the medical field. And that's what I have for you. I want to thank you so much for this session. It has been amazing. This will be posted today, but I got to ask you something before we get out of here. Do you have any final questions?
No.
All right. Thank you so much. And yeah, if you'd like this to be sent to you personally, please send me your email. I'll send it to you. And thank you so much. You have a great day.
You too.
See you.